vintage-inspired cottagecore styling, 2025 budget home decor, and romantic floral DIY tips. Hello lovely friends, I'm Emma, and welcome back to Decor, your cozy corner of the internet, where we celebrate beautiful interiors, dreamy design, and the magic of making a house feel like home. Today, I want to invite you into a soft, nostalgic world full of wildflowers, weathered woods, and soft linen textures. We're diving deep into vintage-inspired cottagecore styling, a home decor journey that blends timeless romanticism with approachable, budget-friendly ideas. Whether you're in a tiny city apartment or a charming countryside nook, you can bring this whimsical world into your space. Picture soft floral fabrics, antique finds with stories to tell, and DIYs that spark joy without breaking the bank. Light a candle, grab a cup of tea, and let's begin creating your 2025 cottagecore dream. Let me take you back to a warm spring morning in a quiet village, where every home breathes its own story. That's the spirit we want to bottle up and bring into our interiors. To start, think about color. Cottagecore isn't about loud trends. It's about faded sage greens, dusty rose pinks, soft creams, and those golden touches of sunlight. One of my favorite ways to embrace this palette is with floral wallpaper. You don't even have to cover a whole room. An accent wall behind your bed, or a small entryway can do wonders. And if wallpaper feels like a commitment, peel and stick options are your new best friend. They're perfect for renters and decorators who change their minds often, like me. Now let's talk textiles. You know that feeling of crawling into a bed layered with old quilts, soft knits, and linen sheets that get better with every wash? That's the cottagecore way. In 2025, you don't have to splurge to get this look. Thrift stores, Etsy shops, and even local markets are full of vintage-inspired treasures. I recently scored a hand-embroidered tablecloth for under $10 and turned it into cushion covers. You can do the same. Layer textures, mix lace with cotton, velvet with burlap. Don't be afraid to combine patterns either. A little mismatch makes it feel real, lived in, and full of heart. One of the joys of cottagecore is bringing nature inside. Not in a grand way, but in the quiet, sweet details. I like to gather wildflowers from my backyard and pop them into old glass bottles. But if fresh blooms aren't your thing, dried flowers are having a huge moment. They last forever, and they add this timeless rustic elegance. You can also hang a bundle of eucalyptus in your shower, or make a simple floral wreath for your door. It's not about perfection. It's about charm and warmth. And when the sun hits those petals just right, the whole room glows. Now here's where we get hands-on, because DIY is at the heart of cottagecore styling. One of my all-time favorite projects is creating a floral lampshade. All you need is an old lamp, some floral fabric, and a glue gun. Wrap, glue, and you've got a bespoke piece that looks like it came straight out of a quaint antique store. I also love making decoupage trays using vintage floral wrapping paper. It's a therapeutic weekend craft that turns ordinary items into one-of-a-kind treasures. Trust me, when guests see your handmade touches, they'll feel the love and care that went into every detail. Let's not forget about furniture. Cottagecore doesn't mean running out to buy all new things. In fact, the more worn in and storied, the better. Hunt down old dressers, weathered chairs, and faded cabinets from thrift stores or estate sales. Then, give them a new lease on life with some chalk paint or milk paint. Soft sage, cream, or even a muted robin's egg blue can totally transform a piece. Distressing the edges just a bit adds that aged heirloom charm we adore. The secret? Sandpaper and a bit of patience. You'll be amazed how even a beat-up old table can become the soul of a room. When it comes to decorating your walls, think beyond the frame. Vintage plates, botanical prints, and hand-stitched embroidery hoops make beautiful displays. Create a gallery wall that tells your story. Mix family photos with pressed flower art and handwritten notes. It doesn't have to be perfect or symmetrical. In fact, cottagecore loves a bit of wonky, as long as it feels heartfelt. I've even used old book pages, and tied them into little scrolls to create wall garlands. Light fairy lights around them, and it's like stepping into a fairy tale. Let's pause for a second and talk about scent, because the way a home smells is just as important as how it looks. A sprig of lavender in a drawer, a simmer pot of citrus and herbs on the stove, or a handmade soy candle in rose and cedarwood. These small sensory touches elevate the mood of your space. One of my go-to DIYs: sachets made from scrap fabric and dried lavender. Tuck them into your pillowcases or linen closet. It's those gentle, nurturing details that bring the cottagecore lifestyle to life. Of course, no cottagecore home is complete without a little space for quiet rituals. Maybe it's a reading nook with a thrifted armchair and a handmade blanket, or a windowsill altar with trinkets from your nature walks. Create a moment in your home that feels like a soft exhale. Surround yourself with what brings you comfort: mugs, books, journals, old records. The beauty of cottagecore is that there are no rules. It's about crafting a life that feels meaningful and slow, with deep appreciation for the small things. So, as we wrap up this little journey into vintage-inspired cottagecore styling for 2025, I hope you're feeling as inspired as I am. The magic of this aesthetic isn't about spending a lot. It's about seeing your space with softer eyes. Use what you have. Make what you can. Collect what brings you joy. Maybe you'll start with a floral DIY, or maybe just rearrange your furniture to feel more open and light. Whatever you choose, let your home become a love letter to the way you want to live. Thank you for spending this cozy time with me here on Decor. If you've enjoyed this calming, creative dive into cottagecore style, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what you're dreaming of decorating next. Whether it's more DIYs, thrift flips, or quiet lifestyle tips, I'm always here to help you turn your space into something that feels uniquely and beautifully yours. Until next time, keep creating beauty from the heart, one vintage bloom at a time.